Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of Oh God, I just got hired as an Android programmer and I have no idea what to do. As you can hear, I'm sick, but I wanted to make the video because it's really interesting. So this is supposed to be the complete guide for implementing a step counter on Android and step counters on Android in general. So naturally, at your job or somewhere, someone's going to ask you to implement a step counter that you can have in your phone on an app where you can hold the phone and walk, and you can see the steps being incremented. So also naturally is for you to want to go to Google Fit to achieve that. So because Google Fit offers a step counter, but it's not exactly what you'd think. So let's look at Google Fit here. Here's the device, apps. Here's Google Fit. Alright, now this is enabled. Use location, okay, use location. This is already enabled and 922 calories. Alright. Along with the step counter, somebody's going to ask you to do as all the other apps do, which is calories, distance, and actual steps. So if you see here, that's Google Fit. Here's Runtastic. Runtastic's Pedometer. Alright? They offer calories, step frequency, distance, and speed. That's fine. But also steps. So calories and step frequency are for the pro version for some reason. It's a shit app. We'll talk about that later. But we're just seeing what all the other apps offer, so you'd know how to go about it. So that's Runtastic, and that's Google Fit, and here's S Health. Okay? This is S Health, also distance, calories, and steps. Alright, so those are three options which are already out there. But if you see Google Fit, if we start with Google Fit, we're going to hold the phone as such. This is projected on the screen. Whatever I'm seeing here, you see here. We're going to shake the phone. You're going to be doing a lot of this if you're trying to implement a step counter. Alright? Not much is being updated, really. And if we go here to the timeline, you can view by active time, distance, calories, and steps. Let's go to the calories. Let's see where the 922 came from. Okay, show short activities. 922 inactive calories, 922 calories. Alright, what about the active calories? So over here you can see a breakdown of the calories. Now it's not really clear. First of all, the implementation of Google Fit into your app is very convoluted. Very convoluted. I went through it, the whole thing. It's complex. There's several ways to call the API and get data from it, and most of it is on Stack Overflow already. But the way that you implement it, and you have to handle how the Google API Manager is closed or open, or when you're going to initialize it, when you're going to close it, when you're going to disconnect. You have to handle all of that. It's a big chunk of code for no reason, really. I really don't like it, and they do not offer you the active calories, which is what we're interested in. All the other apps you're seeing, Runtastic and S Health, are showing you the calories that you're burning. These are called active calories. Inactive calories are the ones that you're not burning. I don't fucking know what the difference is, but I do know that this number should be incrementing. And Google Fit does not allow you to have the the active calories. You get the goal. According to what Google Fit believes that your goal for burning calories per day is, that's the number you get. You get the goal. You don't get the calories that are being calculated by Google Fit. That's for calories. Let's go to steps. We're going to start by dissecting what Google Fit actually does, because that's the natural first option you're going to go to. Oh, I just use Google Fit. I can get everything from there. Amazing. So okay, let's take this day. There's 164 steps. Okay. and there's 164 miscellaneous steps. So in the description for Google Fit and how it calculates the steps, they send the value to the server. So they don't count it, they do count it on the phone, but you don't get to see that value. So let me show you just, this is a little study that I did on the way the Google Fit actually works. So you see here, it's 3:40 p.m. up top here. It's 3:40 p.m. 90 steps walking. It updated this at 9:15. All right. So, and another 40 steps miscellaneous. But what about the real steps? Why didn't it update from 9:15 to 3:40? That's more than 3 hours with no updates of anything that's happening. That is totally unreliable at all. This cannot work. Time difference lag. Also, it's 5:18. It updated at 3:18. 12 p.m. there were 0 steps. Before that there were 49. What? There is issues about this reported all over Stack Overflow. And I think this is typical of Google, I believe. It's a half implementation at best. It's such a minimal app, Google Fit. I don't like this implementation at all. It's very inaccurate. They send the stuff to the server and there's a lot of time difference and a lot of difference in values. By the time you see something and you update the app again, you see a different value. That is really unreliable, and you cannot base any real production stuff on this shit. I know there's maybe a lot of effort went into this, but for nothing. It's unusable. So that was for Google Fit. For me to find this out, it took me like, I don't know, 3 weeks to really lose complete hope in Google Fit. Because that was the first resource that we resorted to. So that's Google Fit. Alright? Let's go to S Health. My dad is talking to me. How can I shut this off? Alarms only. Okay, no, I want to be off. Fuck, I don't care. Okay, let's go to S Health. This is from Samsung. And they do have an API. Digital health. It acts like a store for health data, and it's the way that Google Fit behaves. It's the same thing. You push to the store, you get the data, you put the permissions, whatever. Okay, and you add your metric as a widget on their dashboard. It doesn't matter. Let's just get the raw stuff. So these are today's steps. With Google Fit, we shook the phone, nothing happened. All right. The purpose is to be able to hold the phone, shake the phone, walk around, see updated values. That's the purpose. If you don't have that, you didn't implement a step counter. Very easy. So we're going to shake the phone. Let's see how fast it updates. It's pretty good. Very foolable. We're just shaking very slowly now. It's still being fooled. A lot. So you get the idea. And you get the calories burned here, and you get the distance here. But the issue with Samsung is that it's not very straightforward to get their code, to get the way that they're calculating stuff. So you have to implement the API, and you have to push to apply for a partner app. No, just no. It's not the easiest route to go by. Okay? It's doable. I tried, but it's not the easiest way to go about it. Okay? But this is accurate. At least it's somewhat accurate. If you shake the phone, you get proper numbers, good enough numbers, and it calculates the distance covered and calculates the calories. There's another one. We mentioned about Runtastic, Pedometer. Here it is. Let's see how this one works. Start workout. So we're gonna pick up the phone. This is way sensitive. Really, like too much. I'm just tapping on the phone here. I'm not really walking. What the fuck? This is what I'm doing. I'm just tapping on the phone. That's a fucking step. That's not a step. This is shit. Okay? This is why it's shit. I don't know. Maybe they're happy. Runtastic is an app. Is a great app. Everybody uses it. Let's actually look at Runtastic here. Whoops. I think I need something in my mouth. Here it is on the store. They have 1 million apps. Same shit. 89,000 ratings. Wow. Yeah. 5 million to 10 million installs. Good job. But it's a very shitty step counter. The phone is not even moving. Okay? I'm just tapping on it. It's not even flinching. What the fuck? This is an accelerometer implementation. So it says that if you went from speed to speed very quickly, this is a step. So if you go like, watch now. Alright, this is an accelerometer implementation. It's much worse than S-Health. Okay? But it also offers you the distance and offers you the speed and the calories as we talked about. So this is about the same road that we want to go. Show the steps, show the calories burned, and the distance covered. So by now, you cannot access Runtastic's code. Google Fit is crap. S-Health, you cannot access their code. And going to the S-Health, about Google Fit actually, it's not something bad. It's just that Google Fit is not meant for this specific purpose, to offer you the steps as you're walking. They filter out the steps for stuff that's not relevant. They filter them out. Watch. Let's Google something. Google Fit steps inaccurate. See what people are saying. Happiness alert. No. Help. Okay. API reference. Google Fit Android APIs, REST API. Maybe it's here. They mention specifically that if they don't find any relevant activity to the steps that they're measuring, they place them under miscellaneous. So it's something that is not does not have anything. I can't find it right now, but I have read that. And if they don't find any relevant activity to the steps that they're counting, they send them back to the server. If they don't find anything relevant, they just place them under miscellaneous, and they don't count them with the total number of steps. So live counting, forget about it. That's not the purpose of Google Fit, nor for distance, nor for calories. That's not the purpose of Google Fit, not for that. Aside from that, I haven't really tried it, but I read a ton of shit about people saying, ton of shit from people saying that it's highly inaccurate, and they compare it with other apps. And whoever is going to hire you to do this, or going to ask of you to do this, is going to open other apps, and they're going to be checking, is this accurate? Do they at least think up in a margin of steps, at least? They don't have to match, of course, because it's not the same store or the same way of measuring, but do they at least come into the range of one another? Like if I count with your app, and then I count and I go to S-Health, which is already measuring, are they even close? That's how they're going to measure. They're going to do this for sure. That's how they're going to measure if your implementation is correct or not. This is for them correctness. This is the measure of correctness for someone who's not a developer and just holding your app for the first time. So naturally, about this time, we're going to be like, okay, we're going to roll our own. How are we going to do that? As any professional programmer, you go to GitHub, Whatever your problem is, you put it in the search box and the solution appears. Oh, see? Right here. Android pedometer. 1, 2. Okay, let's try the first two. This guy and this guy. I actually started with this guy. Bajilevi. Whatever the fuck is that? I mean, that is. No maintenance intended. You're fucked. They're not gonna maintain it. But, alas, I did look through it either way and I implemented it. Let's look at it. This guy has an app that speaks to you. Speaking timer, speed notifier, step buzzer, step detector, step displayer, step listener, step service. Here's the step service. Let's look at that. Okay. He's initializing the callbacks. Not callbacks, I mean the detector from his other class. Accelerometer. This is an accelerometer implementation. Okay? Okay. Alright. The callbacks here. You receive them over at you receive them in the activity. Where's the activity? Pedometer.java. Okay. Step changed. There we go. You get the callback for the service, and you send a message to your handler. Step did change. You go over here. That's not the handler. This is the handler. You get the value from arg, and you place it on the counter in your view. Let's see on Visor here. Where is Visor? Where is his implementation? I probably removed it, but he has an app which you can use to test out all of this shit. Where's the app? There it is. We're gonna do this, okay? Let's try his app. Downloads. Okay. What? Downloads. adb install pedometer.apk, and we're back to Visor. Okay, here's his app. Amazing. Steps, miles, steps per minute, that's the pace. Miles per hour, speed. Calories burned. Go to the options. Sensitivity. Extra high, very high, and nothing is selected. It starts at some value, I know, I looked at the code, but it's not reflected here. Operational level for the service, nothing is selected either. How aggressive, how non-aggressive it should be. The step length, the average, the body weight. This is what's used to calculate the calories, if you can see in the code. Alright, and this is the options for speaking, when it should tell you if you've overdone something. I don't fucking know. Let's just test this, okay? We're holding the phone at some value that we don't know for the sensitivity. Very sensitive. So if we go like, tap the phone, garbage. Wow, it's worse than Runtastic. Okay, this is at a certain sensitivity. Now if you go higher, I mean lower, low, alright. Let's go again. Forget about it. Forget about it. Forget about it. It's so shit. With all due respect to what he did, of course, but it's not what's wanted. My language is offensive a little. Okay. Okay, now the sensitivity is not changing. That's wrong. We're almost like very low. Extra low. High is high sensitivity. We want low sensitivity. Okay? What the fuck? It's not changing. What about if we restart? What? Maybe if we go like this. Okay, this is what's being affected. The swings. Okay? So I've tried this millions of times. I put the phone in my pocket. I walk, and it's very hard to get a step with this guy. If you tap the phone, I didn't know that tapping does this. It's even worse than I thought. But if you put the phone in your pocket and you walk around, it's very hard when you're on low sensitivity, extra low, to get any steps recorded. So you just avoid the issue of you don't avoid the issue of tapping. It's not good at all, this implementation, okay, because it's an accelerometer. So here's the gotcha. With an accelerometer, if you hold the phone and you walk and you hold it still in your hand, no steps will be recorded because the phone is stationary. It's not recording any speed. The accelerometer is not being activated. So if you just hold the phone and walk, these are steps. These are valid steps. They should count. First of all, I thought that they shouldn't count. Just place the phone in your pocket and then it'll start measuring. It even doesn't do that. Holding the phone stationary and walking is necessary to see if it's working. These are valid steps, and this doesn't do that because it's an accelerometer based implementation. Okay, so that's Pedometer from Bajilevi. Good game, bro. Nice effort, but it's not really what we wanted. And why are there no issues here? I think because it's not actively being maintained. How did you arrive at the formula for step detection? It's completely a result of experimentation. I know this is lame, but this is a weekend hack. How does step detection algorithm work? Basically, it aggregates the sensor values, finds the maximum and minimum. If the difference is bigger than a value, which depends on sensitivity, then it counts as a step. There's some additional optimization, which are okay. Completely, it's not reliable at all. Okay, this is from Bajilevi. Now, here's the other implementation, Javelin. This is very good. This is the one I settled with. Actually, before we go on, now you see what it takes to take a custom implementation. Let's look at this chart. It's a very nice chart that I made to compare. So you have these 4 candidates: Google Fit, S-Health, Runtastic, our own custom solution. So Google Fit does not offer any speed measurement. It offers distance and calories and steps, but all 3 of those are not live tracking enabled. That's what LT stands for, and they are infrequently updated. So you might wait 2 hours, you might wait 3 hours, sometimes more, as you saw with the screenshots before, and they won't get updated. So live tracking, forget about it. Google Fit is not the solution, and it doesn't offer speed or pace. S-Health does not offer speed. Everything else it does offer, and it is live tracked. Runtastic only offers these 4. Only offers these 3: steps, distance, and speed, and the calories and pace are paid only. It is live tracking, but their tracker is garbage. Our custom solution offers speed. You can, if you get a proper step counter, you can calculate speed. Distance, same thing. Calories, same thing. Pace, same thing. Steps, also. So with the custom solution, you just have to nail the step counting. The rest are values that can be calculated. Okay? I have not yet done that because I just settled on a new step counter, which is from Javelin, this guy, which is not written by him. You'll see in a second. And I still have yet to implement the rest of the metrics based on this new step counter, because now at least I have a reliable step counter, which you'll see in a moment. Okay, here's the source. It's not like some black magic. You'll see what he did. Sensor listener. This is a service. on sensor changed, he saves to the database, whatever. Wait a minute. Yep, okay, he saves to the database. He updates the widgets because he has a widget. He has a widget outside. So this is stuff that has nothing to do with what we're interested in. What we're interested in is the following. I'm sorry about my voice, it's just really fucked. Re-register sensor. Sensor manager, get system service, sensor service. Type step counter. This is from Google. Okay? This is the sensor that he implements. He does it in a service. He also does it here. Here. It's as easy as this. Okay? And you have your on sensor changed. Where is it? You have your on sensor changed, and you have your on accuracy changed. This never gets called, ever. It always returns the same value. Since boot, the caveat with this, I mean the gotcha, is that the sensor inside your device, this is only, by the way, it's only API 18 and onwards. Okay, so KitKat and above. Below, no one has this sensor on their device. Okay, you should use this feature to guarantee that this doesn't show up for devices that are not enabled to handle it. Okay, so this implementation is so easy to do, and it's very accurate. Let's actually check it out. This is the app that I've implemented it in. This was 166 before I started the video because we shook the phone a lot. This has been recording in the background. So let's actually test the tapping on the phone. This is the same action that I was doing with all the other apps. Tapping on the edge of the phone. Obviously, with good reason, nothing happens. But if you go and swing, it counts. So it's accumulative. It still counts. It's like a queue. It's not like instantaneous. I mean, is it synchronous? No, it's asynchronous, I think. So the caveat with this, though, is that it counts the steps since phone boot. So you gotta be careful. Since phone boot. If you restart the phone, that's when the values get reset. If you don't, they're still gonna be the same values. No matter what you do, even if you uninstall the app and reinstall, they're gonna be the same values because the sensor has stored the value. Alright, you're just subscribing to the sensor when you implement it on the device. If it was implemented once at least. It'll start storing and it'll have the same value even if you uninstall the app. But it's very accurate and very reliable. I've tested it millions of times, just like all the rest. You put this on your phone, you hold this in your hand, you walk around, you start counting how many steps, you stop, you will see the same number. Regardless of what the original number is, just implement it, look at the first number that shows up, add to it whatever you counted. The difference, I mean the result of that addition, that's what you should be measuring. What shows up in the beginning, you can reset that whenever you want. You just save the value in shared preferences, and whenever this guy increments, that's a step for you to add to the number that you have over there. It's not very good to get this number and place it over there, because sometimes you want to reset the step count at midnight. Okay? So you can't just keep this running all the time. You'll reach 90,000 in the whole lifetime that you've had the app installed, because it's steps since phone boot. Alright? So it resets the value when the phone is restarted. So what you should do is, whenever you hit the on sensor changed, you know this is a step. You add 1 to the count of steps that you already have. Okay? So that's the step counter from Google Fit. From Google. You can see it implemented here. This is his repository, and this is my custom app that I've implemented this code within. I have a service just like him. Let me just write down what the exact flow is of what's happening here. So you have a sensor service, sensor manager, sensor equal new sensor, step counter. This is not the exact code. I'm just saying that this is what you should do. This gets you your step counter. From it, you implement sensor event listener to wherever you want to initialize this in, probably in a service that is running all the time. From it, you have your on sensor changed, where you increment the number of steps in shared prefs or database. Every hit of this callback is a guaranteed step. No duplicates. So it doesn't give you the same number again, ever. So it's reliable that you know each time you reach this callback. I don't know if that's clear enough. It should be very clear at this point. Whenever you hit the callback, that's a step. You go increment the number that you're keeping track of. Okay? Counts steps since boot. Rebooting the phone is the only way to reset the sensor's values. So that's 1. You have that place the above in a service, probably. Start the service on entering the main activity, actually the activity of your choice, for use in updating the UI of that activity. So you have your sensor manager implemented in one activity, or you could do that. Sure, you could do that. Implemented in one activity, and the sensor on sensor change is going to return the same value even if you implement another sensor manager step counter, the same one in another place in a service. Both are going to return the same activity. So you should have the same number. So you should have one of them updating the UI and another one running in the background always. Okay? Or you could just not do this one. You could have a service running in the background all the time. Within it, you send an event bus event that will be received by the activity, and you use that to update the UI of that activity. Okay? Otherwise, you're just counting and running these steps. Where's this step? This step here. The service is just running all the time, sending an event to whoever is listening, in this case an activity that has to update the UI. It sends that event either way, even if it's in the background service. And second of all, inside on sensor changed, you are also incrementing the number of steps that you're keeping track of as the service is recording. So if you want to see this, you should check out this guy's library. Implementation is very easy. Actually, let me show you. This is a proprietary code, but whatever. Here's the sensor listener. I implement sensor event listener. On accuracy changed, on sensor changed. Okay? What I do here is the following. I get the steps. This is the raw value of the steps. Steps raw is this. Steps in preferences is this, with a key of today's date. Okay? I get the steps from preferences. I store them here. I get the steps from sensor. You know, I store the value of the sensor in preferences as well. And I store the value of today's steps also in preferences, but under a different key, so that I compare them. Okay, for first launch, forget about the first launch. If this sensor steps from prefs is different than steps, that's raw, so that I guarantee this is a new value, which is already going to be a new value. You don't have to do this comparison or to grab this one or store it even. You don't. But this is just to be on the safe side. If they're different, you increment by 1. So I'm not using this one. I'm not using it to store, because this stores value since phone boot, which is not what I want. I want a new counter every day. So how do I reach the everyday? And this is the event that I send. Event step counter incremented. I grab this here in the fragment. I update the UI from prefs. You get it? It's pretty easy to implement. This is an attempt of calculating the calories. This is fucking wrong. It doesn't work. It's not done yet. And this is his own implementation. It's pretty easy. This is the best solution I could find, given all the comparisons that I did and the ones that you saw. This is the most reliable one from Google. And here's his manifest. Uses feature, sensor, step counter. Okay? He has a receive boot completed, so he can run the service on boot. So you can see here, there's a boot receiver. Just start the service whenever the phone boots again, so you don't have to get into the place where it starts the service within an activity. Start it anyways. Okay? Where's the fucking browser? Okay. And he has a boot, where is it? Power receiver. Action power, papa. Boot completed, implementing a fucking service. Simple. And let's just look at the sensor. Hardware step sensor. Here we go. Okay. API level 20. What? No, it's not what I want. It's supposed to be level 18. Let's just see something. Anyways, it's enabled for API level 18 and above. Android hardware sensor step counter. Motion sensors. Okay, this is the one, maybe. Ooh, plus 10. Nice. What for? Cool. API page. Okay. User input, new stem cell. What API is this? KitKat. Oh, there we go. KitKat. Okay. They added this and this. So KitKat and above. And what level is KitKat? What level is KitKat? Where is it? It's 19. Okay. Sorry. 19 and above. Okay. And if you look at the distribution, who has less than 19? KitKat is 19. Okay, everyone below KitKat makes up, so Jelly Bean and beyond that. So if this is 29, I don't know. 15 plus 29, I mean 21. 15, 21, 14, 29. So 79% have above KitKat and above, and only the rest have below. So that's a trade-off you have to decide whether you're willing to make for the sake of accuracy and for the sake of a good implementation. Really, it's the best implementation. You can try it out. Here's his library. I'm going to link to it in the video. You can try out his app. It's very easy to implement, really, as you saw. And that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time, guys.